This is Misty by Errol Garner. Look at me. I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree. And I feel like I'm clinging to a cloud. I can't understand. I get misty just holding your hand. Walk my way, and 1,000 violins begin to play. Or it might be the sound of your hello, that music I play. I get misty the moment you're near. You could say that you're leading me on, but it's just what I want you to do. Don't you notice how hopelessly I'm lost? That's why I'm following you. On my own. But I wander through this wonderland alone, never knowing my right foot from my left, my hat from my glove. I'm too misty and too much in love. I'm too misty and too much in That one's so good.
We proudly stand erect and sing our alma mater song.
He had a wife and a couple kids, grandkids, and he retired from construction. Oh, I don't know, maybe 7 years ago. 6 years ago. And he looked good.
And he looked good, and he said he was healthy.
And he said we looked good.
So his eyesight is okay.
Good detective work.
Yeah. Did you take a picture?
Oh, shit.
Well, it must have been just before he retired, because we put an addition on our house. And our contractor had Fred as the finish worker for staining our woodwork and all that. And so he was there for at least a week, working on it, and I never once saw him, because I was working. So I would leave little post-it notes to him each day when I'd go to work, and I'd say, "Hi, Fred, have a good day," all this stuff, and I'd come home, and occasionally there was a post-it note for me, but I never did get to see him.
Wasn't Karen Kelso the first chair?
Yes.
In New York?
Oh, yes.
Was she not a talented violinist?
She had
She was
perfect pitch.
First chair in the first.
Perfect pitch.
Perfect
She
pitch.
was first chair in the first violin.
And
Wasn't
we are,
she?
Because
we heard
Les
of
Hale
her.
used to always ask her to set the
And
pitch for
she always
choir.
told me that she had descended from the former Queen of England, Anne Boleyn. She said, on one of their mother's side,
Oh my
I am descended from the former Queen of England. I'm related to Anne Boleyn, who was Henry VIII.
Right, second.
Henry II, I don't know, whatever. Second wife, but she was queen for a short time before he cut off her head for not having
Right.
a boy.
Well, and I can add to it that if you took this stone business classes, if you were in with Karen anybody? Was she fat? She
Oh
was.
my
She
Oh,
was.
she was.
Woo! She was fabulous and smart, and all I know afterwards is she often worked for Kelly Girl, and one time she was hired by Catherine Graham, the editor of Washington Post, and she took down Catherine Graham's memoirs. And so I think she had interesting work before, but that's, anyone know anything else before cancer?
She left after junior year and went to Scott College. She had senior year with us, remember that?
Yeah, she was
Yeah,
so
right on.
smart.
Right, yeah, she
She
was.
skipped her senior
Yeah,
year.
she was senior year and
She was brilliant girl.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Speaking of smart people, what about Linda Hott or Jan Willitson?
She was,
I'd love to know.
we never found them.
Found for the test, never found them.
We've never found them. They were so-
I found a Lynn Willitson, which was the name of her brother, when I was, but it turned out to be a female.
Did Susie Pope become a nurse?
She was a nurse.
She became a nurse. And then Ellen Penley
She was a nurse.
also became a nurse.
Well, there, I saw Ellen's name on some website, about, Cedar Falls. I can't remember what it was.
Last time I was home, I went through the Cedar Falls Water phone book and I wrote down every coal miner, that's Martha Carver.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
I called everyone.
Oh,
And until I found somebody who knew who she was. And some little old lady, this like a 20-something male, went and got his grandma, okay? They're all living together. She knew and said, yeah, I can tell you where she's about. And this kid gets on the phone and says, well, you're not going to give me any information. She's in Denver, Colorado, and that they take my information, called her, and she called me back and she
Never did.
I gave her everything but my measurements. And she never called me back.
That would be discouraging.
Can't compete with that.
Measurements can be good.
Well, we originally had 3 questions we were gonna have you reminisce about and come up with something. We've done a great job, but I'm gonna throw these questions out anyway, and if it triggers something in your mind, jump in. Your best or most favorite moment of your lab school days? Now, I remember the very first thing that comes to my mind is my first day of kindergarten. And it was in the Quonset up on UNI campus where the library is now. I did not want to go. I was just having a fit. And I walked in, and next to me was Carmen Tellenhusen with the most beautiful, long, thick braids. And I was in awe. I don't think I said a word the entire day, and we put our mats next to each other for rest time. And I didn't go to sleep. I laid there and I just looked at her braids. I thought she was awesome. But I don't know anymore because years later, my husband dated her. So think about that one, your best and most favorite moment. Then the moment of greatest embarrassment. Oh, this one I came up with really easy. You know, I was really shy and quiet in school. And to get up and read in front of the class was just my worst nightmare. I didn't like being compared to people. I didn't like any of that. And I don't know what grade it was in. I just remember getting up, it was my turn to read aloud. And we were sounding out words, and I was doing pretty good as I went. And I came to a word that I didn't have a clue what it was. But I sounded it out, and the entire class broke into giggles. And I was devastated. And I was what that word was. I pronounced it as hand. Ashamed. As hand. I knew it couldn't be right. I'd never heard of it before. The third question is something about your experience at school that you think nobody else knows about. Well, I don't know if you know.
It's coming.
I don't know if you know know that Jim Budlong and I had this running little feud through high school. And we had our lockers in the same hallway. And there was a friendly feud, but we just had to try to get each other. And I remember once in home ec, we baked cookies. And I don't remember who was in my kitchen mate. But we just put a ton of alum in our batch of cookies because we had to take them out and give them to anybody who wanted. And we gave this bag of cookies to Jim Budlock, who immediately ate them and went, smashed it out immediately. Well, in revenge, you know, I don't know what he did, but then I revenged back, and I took a brown lunch bag and filled it with shell corn. And I taped it in his locker so that when he opened his door, boom, shell corn went everywhere. Well, a couple of days later, I thought, oh, I'm home free. He doesn't even need it. And I opened my locker to find 2 live chickens. We kind of, that was tied up.
Over the
Well, Hugh, go for it.
Early on.
Your locker's right by mine.
I know.
Do I have to do all three of those?
Oh, no, one is fine. Whatever you want.
I won't do the embarrassing. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll do the embarrassing one, but I won't do the one that nobody knows.
It could be a twofer.
Yeah. In 6th grade, we must have had some kind of creative writing project, and I said, "Oh, good, I'm pretty good at writing." So I spent all this time writing this story about it, far off giant that came on and did something, I don't know, but it was just, I thought it was just a wonderful story. And then Miss Help would, when we were finished with the project, she said, well, I want to read some of these. And she said, well, the first one is yes. And she started reading it, and she said, this is a story about one of the, I can't remember what it was. This is the story about a friendly game. And she went on and she pronounced giant every time because I had transposed the and she didn't stop. She just kept going. And to this time, I do not spell giant incorrectly anymore. But that was so embarrassing, especially when you think that, oh boy, you really hear this show off.
She knew what she was.
Oh, she absolutely. Yes. You thought Dr. Bev was tough.
Yeah. Remember the first day of class, we said, I'm going to nail the ideas into your head, and I'm going to something.
And you're never gonna forget me.
When I was fresh from school, this is weird. Yeah.
And he said,
That's
you're never gonna forget. I'm gonna be the best teacher.
That's
you've
what
had.
he said.
And you're gonna be grateful to me.
Oh.
You're always gonna forget me in the back of my mind. I said,
No,
you,
she-
I
the worst
hate
always.
you, but I never saw him. He was. He was.
That's
He was
sadistic.
So I'll pass on my one. Unless somebody else does an Indian in Annie Gets Your Gun. Although I didn't have a speaking part.
I was Indian too.
Everybody was Mary Erickson.
Yes.
That was a lot of fun.
There was a girl in 4th grade who was in our class. Her name was Nancy Olson.
Oh, yeah.
And Nancy Olson she said, take off your pants. I did. It wasn't you. Who was it?
She told me about it.
Anyway, she just told me to take off my pants. I laid behind her. She said to take them off. You weren't there then?
No,
I remember she had somebody with her that she wanted to show. She would tell me to do anything. And I did. I would have done anything she said. I was smitten. I dropped my pants right then and there. Show what you've got. Okay? It's true. It wasn't Becky. It was somebody else. Becky was there. I thought it was Becky. It was somebody else. But I read her face. Nancy also told me to do it. I did it.
Becky has anything to do with very little to read.
I'm not trying to embarrass you.
I was going to say something, but now
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I thought it was you. I just know something like that happened. It might be something. Maybe not. I didn't think anything of it. Whatever Nancy also said, maybe I was going to do it.
On a more serious note, does anybody remember we were giving a club rally, if it was, during lunch hour when Kennedy was killed? When Kennedy was killed, 11:30, we were doing a pep rally on stage.
When Kennedy was killed, I was up.
When Kennedy was killed.
I was up.
And I don't remember which one of us was there, but I was on stage with a group of you. I don't know.
When who announced it?
It was Mr. Goldman, I think, who
Came
opened
out.
the stage door, and we were the cheerleaders were standing on stage. We must have been in the.
I wasn't a cheerleader, I was always a goof off.
I was up there. You were out in the skin. You must have been in the skin.
Yeah.
And he said, the president's been shot. And there we were, and we had to.
I'll always remember that.
I remember then because they turned on a TV, they put a TV on the stage, and we all just sat
Because
in
all
silence
the
over
kids were in the auditorium.
in the auditorium.
I was not in the auditorium. I was upstairs in the hall by Miss Lucille Anderson's room, and somebody came down the hall and said, "The president's been shot." And I said, "What are you talking about?"
Juniors, weren't we juniors?
Yeah. I don't even remember. They just walked by and said, I was standing by Miss Lucille Anderson's room. That's where my locker was. And somebody just said, "The president's been shot." I said, "What are you talking about? What president? President of what?" And it said, "The president." And after that, didn't we all go home? We went back to our home. We all went to our home. And they just sat there and talked to us, and we didn't do anything.
They did excuse class early.
And that's when we had a horrible snowstorm, and it snowed for a day and a half or so, we all stayed home in our houses and watched the funeral.
The funeral and everything.
I wrote down a couple things, just I'm gonna pass them by you. You could think about it.
Oh.
Okay, remember 8th grade camp?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, 8th grade camp, I hate horses. I mean, I love to look at them from a distance, so I asked the ranch hand to get me one that doesn't move. So he comes and brings this horse that's sway back, all ready for the glue factory, and he tied it up to the fence, and we sat there. I was so happy. Okay. Does anybody remember the field trips on the big buses?
Oh,
Those
yes.
were cool. About the swimming suits.
They were awful.
We still have those, and we still had those in the 80s.
What?
No.
I'm not even
No.
Those heavy cotton ones,
No.
those
Those
thick ones.
horrible, like girls.
Tanks, they were kind of like tanks.
Long.
I mean, if you forgot your suit, you had to wear the issued ones.
Yes.
We did terrible.
Okay, then I was taking driver's ed.
Be thankful you got some.
Here we go.
I went to school where we didn't have suits.
They threw you in the little naked.
Went to swim class.
Steering wheel. She'd never driven before. So we go up Summit, that little short street, and I lived right at the end of that. And she went, oh, my dad's yard. I
field house. We were there when all the guys were working out. It was so fun. It was just fun. So we gained access to things when nobody else was around. It was kind of cool.
Put it in the basketball court. Or
Yeah,
against
they
the
put-
wall.
I think they put nets up and against the wall as well.
And you know, Coach opened up on Sunday afternoons for all. He did that in violation of, because
But it
They-
was mostly guys. There
it
weren't
was,
very
you
many
guys
females
came, I
there.
remember.
Yeah.
We were all there. His coach was ahead of his time.
Field house dirt.
Yeah.
I guess you and I were ahead of
It
our
was
time,
filthy
too.
with the oil on it.
Where were the tunnels? I don't remember that.
Well, there's underneath the stairwells on ground floor. If we would've got.
I was scared.
Wow, they just lined us all up.
Yeah. Well, and related to the tunnels, and I'm giving a plug for the Price Life History website. There's a section on it that says memories, and you can go and write your memories. And someone wrote a memory after us, and Lynn put it up there. The lockers by the library on the second floor, someone dug behind them, got up there, set up a whole room for themselves. Up in and several students went, and you can read about it there. They put chairs, and they had a grand old time of him behind the lockers by the library. That was after our time, though. But it's on the website, and look it up.
There was some rumor about the guys digging a hole by the pipes and Mary down with the girls.
Yes.
What was that all about? You guys didn't tell me about that? Didn't you dig out the cement around the pipe and you could look down into our?
Oh, yeah, sure.
tell us about it.
Oh, yeah.
There was, but the boys' locker room was just above the girls' locker room. And there were heating pipes right on the wall, and for some reason, they didn't seal the.
Is this a
pipe.
secret nobody else knew? You?
Well, no, for a few years, until, we would start to congregate. And I think Coach or Doc Happ or somebody finally figured it out. But,
Naughty boy.
I did see Barbara Hess. Barbara Hess.
Did you use your phone? Did you guys?
There were no phones yet.
See, now this is the one that no one knew about.
Okay, that's good.
Did you have mirror print?
No, oh no, it was
You
big
can
enough.
see,
Oh,
you can see right down. I admit, most boys took a look.
Yeah.
But sometimes there was nobody there.
Oh, of course, most of
Get
the
a
time.
few seconds of time.
It was just a pass.
But there was nobody there. There was nobody there. There was nobody.
But long enough that
Kind of a flat.
I know.
Speaking of embarrassing, one of my triumphs though was 8th grade camp when I beat Lane Jensen in the Indian wrestling. That was one of my.
Really?
Yeah.
Leg wrestling.
Yeah, leg wrestling. Yes, I want to know I'm champion.
It made me so embarrassed to lay down beside you, and you too, very, very embarrassing. And he wasn't about to flip you, but you just flipped him right down. I didn't hesitate.
Well, I always remember Mr. Hoosier in 4th grade.
Yes.
How he had the map skills and he had those huge maps and you have to go up and, identify the different areas. You got it right. I think you eventually got one of those big
He gave us Kool-Aid parties on Fridays. Max was, when we had a good week, then we got to go down and mix up Kool-Aid. And come up with Kool-Aid.
Wow, that was.
Yes.
I'd like to thank Barbara for your little blog or whatever you want to call it on for Max Hosier. It brought back a lot of memories, and there were so many things that I learned in that class, and that I just kept coming back and coming back. you don't really think about, but things that eventually I think, wow, what a wonderful person that he was.
Compare his teaching technique to Dr. Bell.
Yeah.
Dr. Bev was a nightmare.
So who remembers Peter Joe Clay's Shrunken Head?
Yes!
Oh, yes.
Yes, I do.
The shrunken head.
Haven't you wondered in years past, was that real?
Oh, yeah.
And would you tell us more about where that came from?
That was real, because was it?
Did you remember it? Was under a bell.
What did you bring it for sharing time once?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And I know it was real, because if you picked up the bell, you could smell it.
Ooh.
It-
Strings in its
rotten.
lips.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was, they donated a lot of this, my grandfather's stuff to the university, and I think that was in amongst it. I'm sure that someone that had good taste probably. If you think about it in today's politically correct world, it's disgusting.
It was disgusting. It was like a tier
I had
above.
those.
And you brought it to sharing time, didn't you?
Yes.
And we saw the shrunken head. We all, it's an object.
A shrunken head.
Yeah,
know about
well,
shrunken
everybody
head.
knows that they're shrunken
30
head.
years later, I'm going, shrunken head?
Yeah.
The room was getting very close. But kind of lifting it, and several of us kind of milling around, and I determined it was real, because it smelled and looked, and, oh, yeah. Oh, God. Awful. That's pretty great.
Remember the one at Niagara Falls?
Oh.
Keith.
Yes.
We did decor in Fort Atkinson in fourth grade. And Soldier took us. Fourth grade to Niagara Falls, yes. The summer school. Summer school.
Yeah, how many of you went to summer school?
I love summer school.
It was not remedial boundaries.
No,
it was enrichment.
It was in.
Just because of education. I did tennis a lot, so I don't remember.
Well, I went to summer school.
I don't remember. My favorite times is how about the conversion of our grades. I don't know if anybody else knew how many places, how many
Yes. And then trying to explain that.
And I don't think too many people knew about it, but we got hauled into the principal's office one time.
You and who?
Chris.
Chris Smith.
Told that we had to keep our hands off of each other. That was my favorite.
Satisfactory, and unsatisfactory, and how you convert that when you went to college.
Oh,
It
yeah.
did,
And how hard it
and
was.
it was a rude awakening.
And like Peter said, and then trying to explain it to somebody.
I got straight H's.
Hopeless.
Dr. Grimm was certain that he was going to reshape the way people were graded.
Oh, gosh.
And he was ahead of his time,
Oh,
but,
absolutely.
but it didn't, and it was brilliant, but it never translated. The general population is going like, what? We're A's or B's or C's. Everybody knows what it is. And the universities never converted. They were A's and B's and C's. So you couldn't, it's like you couldn't move the ship. He was brilliant. He was brilliant. He was absolutely right.
Didn't we get ABCs in our senior year?
My report card.
Our report
Yes.
cards.
My report card.
They were always HS and U. HS and U, HS and U.
Great straight averages, because.
Straight H's.
But I had several classes that we didn't have textbooks. We had manuscripts of books like the DNA, and whenever we started that, and science. That wasn't in textbooks yet.
distinguished yet.
Right.
Pablo Gil Casado.
What was your Spanish?
That's
Okay,
it.
everybody, what was your Spanish name? You were Pilar. Am I right?
I can't
You were Pilar.
Begonia.
Begonia. You were Pilar. I remember. I was Ricardo.
I was Barbara.
Barbara. Lolita.
Oh, hey, we know about
Palmyra.
Palmyra. Or Palmyra. Yeah.
You know
You-
what it is.
That was the good memory I have of the lab school because I took Spanish all the way through. And then I went to UNI, and at the end of freshman year, we had to declare a major. And I had no clue what I wanted to major in. And I said, well, it has to be Spanish, so I'll just write that. And it ended up being my profession. And so, I was very grateful for the education I received.
And Vicki, tell them how many times you've been to Europe and.
The first time was with you for a full summer, but we went with the German group. We left them and did our own thing for a summer. But I've taken students for 23 years to Spain and Mexico and roughly 700 students. And I'm very proud of that I exposed them to the culture. But I really do think that my experience at the lab school was the basis
Well, we mentioned summer school. I remember sitting next to John Cruz, the mayor.
Really?
Since I don't live here, I don't know how he's, what people think about him, but anyway, so whether he's famous or infamous, he was at the lab school for one summer. I remember one time staying overnight with Bob Mounts, and of course, if you remember, his dad ran the power plant, so it was mentioned about running through the tunnels, and I did that that one Saturday. Now, we were, at that time, you know, it was grade school, so, you know, you don't see as much, you don't understand as much at that age as you would later on, but I think we got all the way down, at least partway towards the lab school. Of course, you start at the power plant, which was next to that pond, and all that's been changed. And I remember I was in summer school in the senior high level, and the guy from West High, Fritz Rapp, and myself, and a couple other guys. The summer school was mostly in the morning, but in the afternoon, I made a road, so we went up into the auditorium, and you know, all the curtains hang from this gridwork on top. Well, we climbed up there, and then we had these vents opened, and so we used the rope to get up to an iron bar that then led us out through those vents. And so at the very top of the school building, we, one summer afternoon, we're up there. Now, luckily, nobody found us, and nobody shut the vents. Anyway, that's something that I remember.
How many people ice skated on Prex's Pond?
I learned this.
I had
two left feet on my ice skate. I mean, it looked like one was a right foot, but it wasn't, and the arch was on the outside.
Oh, no.
And I tried to skate, and I could not do it. And my mom just thought, well, she has weak ankles.
Well, we walked across the campus today, and one of the places we stopped at the university, we went into the old women's that in somehow and built a big platform over the pool, and now you walk up these steps and it's a seating area up there. But however, along the side where all those marble or granite steps are still there, we used to sit on the bleachers to watch people swim. So that's still there, but it was, you know.
It was an engineering marvel, how they did
When I had
that.
the bump.
They changed that building.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, it's worth going to see.
And the lockers we used
That
to
was
use
some
down
serious
there.
engineering.
They were like a maze.
Yeah, amazing lockers.
It's incredible how they did that.
I just have two things. I don't know if any of you remember at our last reunion, I thought one of the classiest things was that Peter Clay raised a toast to all the women in the class, and I thought that was so classy. I never forgot it, and so I'd like to pose a toast to the men of the And then I'll tell my embarrassing story. This is a Karen Kelso story too. And I'm just wondering if some of you can help me remember it. But I always tried to be so good. You know, I just wanted to be good. And we were in the orchestra, and Karen was first chair, as you said. And were you second chair?
Might have been.
Violin? Or you were second chair?
I might have been third.
I was third.
I played second violin.
You were
I was second violin.
Oh.
I was first chair, second.
You were
I
second
played
fiddle.
cello.
Second
You were
fiddle.
second fiddle.
Whatever. Okay, we're on the stage. This is 8th or 9th grade. Don Want is conducting us, and someone from behind us, because Karen and I was third, put a mitten on their bow, and who's the person? Who did that? Anyway, I don't know who did it, but it came to me. Someone goosed me, and I thought it was funny, you know. So I put the mitten on my bow, and I goosed Karen ahead of me, and she dropped her violin. I just went. Does anyone remember this? I've never forgotten. I was so humiliated. Huge clatter. Everyone looks at her. There I am with my bow, you know, and Don Wynn just reamed me out before you all. And I was just, does anyone remember?
You can let it go now.
We don't even remember it, Bob.
Well, I was one of those orchestra people who took it for the least amount of time that we were allowed. And I usually forgot my violin on the school bus. You know, when I go home. And I was like, well, shoot, I can't practice. But I remember one concert, John Vanderbeek and I shared music stand, and we weren't up close to the front at all. But somehow, our music got all out of order. And we realized it immediately, you know, the music started, and we just kind of looked at each other like, now what do we do? Because we had no clue. You can't start digging. So we just watched those around us, and we didn't ever have our bow on our strings, and we just, if they would have given it, they would have. Do you know how hard that is to keep it off the strings? For a whole concert?
Even without discussing it, you just.
Well,
They
I
bowed the
think it
air.
was just-
They bowed the air. They watched the other
What do
people.
we do?
What did you do? Yeah, they bowed the air.
Yeah,
That was very creative, actually.
tried to, and we were back far enough. Like
Yeah, like nobody noticed.
Well, Steve keeps asking me, did you ever take physics? I said, yes, I took physics. I was with John Vanderbeek and Raleigh Popkeys, and we were all right there, and they just pulled me along.
But the sad part of it is that, you know, we have those little packets, and it would take us a whole quarter to get through it. And here's Peter Clay, he's got the whole thing done in 1 week. And he's just walking around. Oh, yeah, where are you going?
Well, it takes extra time to drag her along. I know the experience.
Well, I think Rodney made a steam engine or something. Didn't you do something really unique?
I was trying to make a steam engine my freshman year. Oh, that reminds me. In order to do that, it took some extra time, and so I would, they would kind of lock things up, but I would pull the shade down on the in the shop and crack the window, and then I would climb in later and then run the machine, the lathe.
It was a cat version.
And then once Dr. Hartman had commented to me about, we gotta sometimes check these windows, because sometimes people climb back in. So I don't know if he knew that I was doing that. They never called me on it, but,
He was your treat, dude.
I think so. Now, not too many people break into a school.
No.
Work.
It worked out.
Can you imagine what the AV department is
Well, it's all tore down.
He didn't mean literally.
Projectors and what it must be like to run an AV department.
Well, they have smart classrooms.
So there's no AV department.
It's a whole different world.
It is a
It's
very
just-
different.
The world has moved on.
It's just one troubleshooter who goes to all the classes and makes sure.
So did anyone else feel kind of disgusted with participants that would come in and ask you questions? I just remember chemistry especially. I couldn't get my work done. Always coming in and asking questions. You had to answer. Okay, Did you not?
They sit in the back of the class and come like they were pre-teachers.
They were participants, not student teachers.
Observers and then participants.
Yes, yeah, and the participants got the quizzes.
Yeah.
And I didn't know when I was in school that all schools didn't have. I thought that was just normal.
Right.
Yeah, you don't know.
Did you feel that way?
Yeah, we thought it was normal because we always had
Yeah.
And student teachers know other schools had either. They didn't have student teachers.
I thought we messed with them. I thought we could tell the smart ones, and we really bothered the ignorant ones and the poor things. Because they were just a few years older than
terrible
we were
because
really.
we had so many.
Yeah.
You could mess with their
But
mind.
you could tell. You could almost tell right away.
Yeah, which ones were? Oh, this one's we're gonna be playing this.
Yeah.
We were terrible. Bob Mocker was too. I mean, they knew his name.
Yeah.
Bob Mocker, you know who that kid is?
Oh,
Yeah, he had that unspoken power.
Didn't we used to have things we did in his house?
Yeah.
I can't remember, but I remember that big house.
Yeah.
I think the New Year's Eve parties sometimes.
Richard, tell the basketball story you told about the nasty language stuff you do to other teams.
Oh, in 7th grade, we had a basketball team, Bruce and Larry. 7th and 8th grade. 8th grade, we had a basketball team. And Larry was the center, Bruce and I think maybe Jim Barron played out there. Tom Hinckley played. And we would play schools like Waverly, Dyke, Hudson. It was the big game. Anyway, Larry had these, we had these psychological tools of verbal abuse. We were saying, Larry came up with these. Bruce was in on it too. It's like when we talk to the players as they come to play us, you lie on Christmas. You lie on Santa's birthday. You lie on Christmas. These guys, they didn't know what was going on. What are you talking about? What was the other one?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Yeah, no. That was just. We had these. It was like verbal warfare. We were making talking to him like nasty, like we didn't swear. We didn't swear, but almost. It was like putting
Smack before there was.
trash talking.
Talking smack.
Yeah, talking smack. We were giving him a hard time. You're gonna play us. Well, you're gonna hear some bad
It
words.
was
I mean,
no, it's not.
You lie to Santa Claus.
It was non-sequential.
yeah, you lie on Christmas. You lie on Santa's birthday. You know, it's like what?
When is Santa's birthday?
And Santa's birthday is Christmas. I mean, come on. We were playing with their minds. We were trying to confuse them. We were confusing them, and we won.
You're all going, oh, these kids have a problem.
Yeah, no, but we did. We won. We would beat them. They were totally confused. Like, what on earth? What's going on here?
Yeah, I remember you guys saying, you lie.
Yeah, you lie on Christmas. You lie.
That was was
Another I'm trying to think. There was one more. Larry had.
Larry had all kinds of weird
Oh
sayings.
yeah, no. When we were playing sports, he had some sayings. I mean, he was just messing with their minds, and Bruce did too. Bruce had some, you know. We're gonna, we're gonna put you in. We were just. It was competitiveness coming out with our language because we were precocious. You know.
Now, Richard, what about Bruce's pet names? Does everybody know Bruce's pet names?
Oh, Bruce's pet names. Come on, we could go on for days. My family were the Buffalo clan. I was Buffalo Chiefs. That was my nickname. The Bison clan was my family. And Bison number 1 was Lloyd. Bison number 2 was my mom. Bison number 3 was Arden. I was Bison number 4. The family was numbered.
After you, Richard.
Buffalo Chiefs. L.O. Deal-Leaf was who? Larry? L.O. Deal-Leaf was Larry's name.
I was Ocello the Sponge.
Ocello the Sponge.
You had another nickname too.
I don't know what I don't want to know. Barbara, what were you?
I want to know.
Cheeks, was she Cheeks?
No, I was Cheeks. I was Cheeks, and it wasn't my Cheeks. It was those Cheeks. What was
Friar Tuck.
your Friar Tuck?
Richard's nickname, which he got because he was a little on the south.
What was it?
Well, anyway, you had a nickname that was cut off. It was Pirk.
Pure. Pure conceit. Bruce named me Pure. Truth to tell, I was completely. I maybe came off conceited, but I wasn't. I didn't know. I think Tom Pinkham had a name. I'm trying to. Pinks. Thomas Pinks. I don't know.
Jim was what?
Silk.
Baroni.
Baroni,
Baroni.
or Little Man.
Or Little Man.
Tay.
Tay was Larry. Tay was Larry. Linny, or not Linny. It wasn't Linny. It was
Something Silk.
Silk. Silk were ears. Ears were Silk. You were Silk.
I was also Silk.
Yeah, Silk.
Chris would call you Silk.
And we were rated. Bruce rated us for the lusciousness of our ears.
Oh, yeah.
And Larry Taylor ruled the roost. He had the biggest. I mean, it was the pseudo-sexual crazy stuff.
What would he do?
Ooh, we'd sit there at his desk. I'm going to stroke. Larry, I mean, what is this? This is almost gay shit. Give me a break. You're talking about Larry Taylor's earlobe? Am I right? I'm going to have a poll, and you're going to know what's happening. What?
Then there was punishment.
Huh?
Oh, punishment.
Had to be.
Punishments. He had this guy.
Larry was in my
Yeah, he would be punished.
Oh,
He had naughty names too. Linda House, the Griswold. He had naughty names. He put down Reese. He did. He was.
Oh, God.
Bruce. He was
Terrible.
brutal.
everybody.
He put.
Reese.
He put. We were a bully. We were all bullies. Actually, I was quiet about Reese because I knew it was wrong. I didn't do anything. No, we were terrible. I mean,
Even
Going to
Reese
hell.
then was saying like Reese.
it's sort of like,
Reese.
you know, he bought into it because it was his identity.
That was it.
Yeah, he did.
I can't do anything about it.
So that's what I am. I'm Reese.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with Reese. It's like at least I have an identity. It was like that's my identity. And you know what? There was this film out about this bully in Sioux City, and
All right, everybody, fuzzy pickles.
Don't stop.
Okay, keep shooting.
Keep shooting.
I got the right button, don't worry.
I gotta wait till this